Hello, hello, and welcome to Millionaires Are Made, where we believe that you can grow to be a millionaire in all six aspects of health. We share tips every week to improve your physical, mental, spiritual, financial, intellectual, and today, your social health. We are focusing on social health and the topic of astrology. Now, not necessarily about astrology and the science thereof, but on how astrology can affect your relationships and your social health. We've got three awesome guests that are going to come teach us a little bit about social health and astrology. If you've never seen Millionaires Are Made, this is the show built on the fundamental belief that every person you meet knows something that you don't, and there's something to be learned from everyone in this big, beautiful world. In the spirit of authenticity, we typically don't talk about tips or advice before the show starts. We try to keep it as real as possible with minimal bias and persuasion, just three awesome people sharing from their life journey. Audience, we love you so much. We love having comments, asking questions. Please like or share or subscribe or send stars or whatever else is going on that you can do in your way of watching this. We do want to do some shout outs real quick on Facebook. Rose Cole, thank you for following. We love you. Instagram, Dana Nygaard, thank you so much. TikTok, Graham Norris, and on YouTube, Gali Hugman. Thank you so much for following. We love you guys very, very much. And if you are, we know you do, we'd love to have you as a guest. If you're watching this and you're like, oh man, I know something about that, or oh man, I have a little piece of knowledge, I know you have something, we would love to have you on as a guest. Please check out our link below, www.millionairesaremade.com. We'd love to have you sign up as a guest. We have all sorts of topics all the time. And if you have something you're struggling with or something you know a lot about, let us know. We're always looking for new topics. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll definitely go out and find three awesome guests on that topic and host an entire show just for you, and it will be the best show ever. So send us your topic ideas, and if you want to be a guest, sign up now. We also offer free coaching, free growth coaching. So if you're interested in a one-on-one session with yours truly, feel free to sign up. Links being dropped right now, growwithaustin.com. And we'd like to give a huge shout out to our sponsors. We have Sarah Jones. Sarah helps people master personal and business finances to build stable foundations while she is traveling the U.S. full-time in her RV with her husband. She's awesome, debt-free. If you want to be debt-free, go follow her, like her, and learn from her. Next up, we've got Craig Sadkovsky, a human behaviorist and mentor. He helps entrepreneurs discover their true identity, purpose, and achieve growth in business and life. Go check out his link right there. Craig is amazing. He's a great guy and will teach you a lot. Next, we have Jen Gray. Jen is a host of Be Genuine with Jen podcast. She helps small businesses thrive as the agent with benefits. Connect with her today at imjengray.com. And last but not least, we have Josh Perry, who is also a co-host on this show and on my personal board of directors. Super resilient leader, inspiring others to overcome challenges with determination, guiding them to reach their full potential and achieve greatness. Check out Josh. He is amazing. And last but not least, it's time to go over a little tip. I do want to preface this by saying that the stars may have aligned in astrological fashion. This show was planned months ago, and last night I just attended a giant Virgo party. There's probably 250 people there, fire dancers, jumbies, which is like people on stilts, dancing hard, and we had a big Virgo party last night, and then I woke up today to see we were doing an episode on astrology. Thought that was really cool and interesting. Maybe Mercury's spinning the correct way and the stars all aligned. On that note, here comes our first guest, Veronica. Veronica, who are you? Oh, I
Hello,
like.
everyone. Hi, I am Veronika Vildová, and I am from Czech Republic, and I am a soul reader. I read souls. It's my full-time job now, and yeah, souls are usually talking about their homes in other planets and other star systems when they have been before. So yeah, I thought I could I could contribute something about that
We
to this
might
topic.
dive too deep into that. I've got okay. Let's go over. Oh man, we might have this. Might be a long episode. Veronica, if I wanted to improve my social health with astrology, what is one tiny piece of advice you would give me?
Well, what I like about astrology is that you can definitely use it for any kind of life advice you need. And my very favorite kind of looking at it is to look at erogenous zones on a body according to zodiac signs. I know it's not very specific, but I think it's fun to check when you are, for example, dating somebody new, or even with somebody you have for a long time. Checking their zodiac sign and their erogenous zones according to their zodiac sign is, I think, it's just interesting, kind of fun, and sharing that with them is even funnier. So yes.
So, like, you say zones, like arm is associated with a different zodiac sign.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And there are many popular sites which are which are having their contribution to the topic. And for example, yeah, each zodiac sign has a kind of different set of zones. And for example, Aries,
Is
I'm
that you?
Aries.
Okay.
Yes, yes. The popular zone is our head and hair, so I think that's that for that. So each zodiac sign has their own set of zones, and it usually is according to the pictures of your zodiac sign. It's a little bit fun, but yeah,
All right.
usually
Let me ask you this. So, you're an Aries, and your zone is your head and your hair.
yeah.
When you meet people, is that one of the first things you look at? Is their hair? Are you a
Um,
hair snob?
uh, I don't think so. I think I am a very heady person, so I'm more looking at their brain, like how they are perceiving the world. I think that's
Okay.
main thing, that their perspective of the world. And yeah, I am actually more looking at the hands, especially with the guys. With men, I don't know why, like not eyes, not the hair,
Are they
but
just waving at you?
yes. Yes, so the hands maybe are something interesting for Aries.
So, I'm gonna look mine up super fast. So, look up what Capricorn body zone. If this is skin, body hair, that's rude. That is so rude.
And you are Capricorn.
I'm a Capricorn. Yeah, I'm on the
Okay,
cusp.
I can, according to Bustle, uh, there's getting a little leg action. Even a light touch to the thigh can drive Capricorn crazy. Earthy Capricorn loves the power of connection through touch.
All right, all right.
So the leg is according to Bustle. Every site has different point of view. So
Okay. So let me ask you this. Let's go on. Where on your life journey did you learn this? How does this tie into what you? I mean, your full time profession is the word.
my full-time profession, I had to develop it. I had to develop my clairsenses, if I can say it in this way. So I used to be in IT, and I would train that in the evenings and during the weekends. So I would get together with many willing friends, and I would try to read their soul. And and sometimes at the first several sessions, I didn't see or hear anything. So it was very frustrating, and I had to develop the skill.
So when you read a soul, is
Yes.
there anything related to astrology, or do you have to deal with suns and stars or anything like that when you're reading souls?
There are. some soul readers who are combining astrology with reading souls, because you can definitely combine it. It's quite important the time and the day when soul decided to enter the world. So sometimes some people combine it. Usually for me, it's more important when the soul says something about the star system they are from, because when the soul says, okay, I am from Pleiades, or I am from Sirius, A or B, or I am from somewhere there, it usually tells something about their energy. So
Oh,
yeah. So, for example, souls who are from Sirius, they are very analytical and they perceive the world as scientists. So, it's quite interesting. I don't hear anything from them about science. It's more like, yeah, I'm from Sirius and I love this, and this, and I am able to combine a lot of scientific approaches and make it one and kind of bring it to the world. They are also quite good spiritual teachers. So those are from Sirius. And for example, those from Andromeda, they are very, very loving and compassionate. So souls who are from Andromeda, they come here as healers and creators and artists and in general very loving and kind souls with kind of airy nature. They are not very grounded. They are more like their head in the air and their heart in the air, and yeah.
wow. All right. You have talked way too much. I love it, but we're going to move on to Christopher and see what he has to say. We'll bring you back out in just a bit, Veronica. Christopher,
Hey,
who
Austin.
are you?
Hey, Austin. I am a legacy teacher, a serial entrepreneur. I've been, you could say, into astrology since my teens. I'm still learning about it. It's a
Good.
topic you just can't really say you know everything because there's so many pieces to it.
Well, any good topic is always growing and evolving, so you always got to keep learning, right?
Yeah,
All right, Christopher, if I wanted to improve my social health with astrology, what tiny piece of advice would you give me?
it would be understanding the patterns and the symbolism within astrology because it actually relates to like how your social interactions with other people, and then you can go even a step further. It relates into like the business side too. Like it can play and follow the markets, if you know what I mean.
You're gonna have to explain that and tell me
Uh,
more. You
well,
just
I mean,
announced a rather big revelation. Explain
yeah,
that, please.
that actually. I forget who said the quote. I mean, it's more of a financial health quote, but it would be going that, millionaires or billionaires use astrology, like in a paraphrased way, because they're looking at the symbolism, the patterns of what's going on in the world, how the planets influence people, interactions, and what's wars, other like there's a lot of things at play, a lot of influences that could basically overall.
Do you think astrology plays a large factor in wars?
Could potentially. I mean, I look at it, everything that's going on, the synchronicities. We've got a lot of, just following other astrologers, they're talking about a lot of other planets in retrograde at the moment. Yeah, some have came out, but others have moved in. There's other cycles that have basically come to an end this year that have been decades or 17 years long. So, like, if you've been going through a lot of challenges and stuff, you've kind of moved past that, and now you're finally into the period where you can actually have it easier to progress, or everything that you've been trying to do that you've been having difficulty to, it's going to become easier.
Wow, interesting. I wonder, do you know if there's any data about, I mean, I guess
Well,
astrology
that
covers
that
quite a lot.
data, they're not going to tell you because that's how they keep everything going. It's like on a need to know basis, or you figure it out. Try
Yeah,
to
I mean, it'd
figure it
be
out. Yeah.
crazy if someone released, like, hey, every time there's a war that, is big enough, I guess, what, like over 10,000 casualties to can be considered a war, they all start on a new moon or something. That would be crazy data to have or to see if it existed.
It'd be a little bit, you could say, searching to find if that's out there, but there is probably synchronicities with. the conflicts with the financial markets, with people how they're acting. Like that has more to do with the solar, like the sun cycles.
Okay, yeah, because that'd be
Yeah.
crazy too if it's like every time there's more than 3 solar flares in a month that are over 100 feet or whatever the stat is, financial markets take a 10% dip.
Well,
That would be
with Austin, with the sun cycles, they say that when the solar cycle gets to its peak, where you have the most solar flares, that's where you're like 60 to 75% more likely to have social revolutions. Whereas when it drops, it's less likely. And
so. How
people,
often does that happen? Once a year? Or?
no, it's a 10, 11 year cycle. So every 5 to 10, or it's at the peak. Like we're at the peak of solar cycle 25 at the moment.
So there's gonna be a lot of social revolution for the next year or two.
Potentially. Yeah, like there's other people who follow that, maybe less so astrology based on that point, but yeah, that oscillating cycle follows that. So
That's fascinating.
yeah.
Are you why you need to quit your job and become a statistician that can do all that research? I'm not even kidding. If you had like hard fact like I mean I
It's
guess
out
you can
there.
always have outlying factors and people can attribute it to there's way too many variables, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's still fascinating if you had something like that. Every time there's 10 solar flares in a day or whatever it is, we have seen a 3% drop in the Dow. I mean, crazy stuff like that would be fascinating, wouldn't it? Wild.
Yeah.
All right. Where on your life journey did you learn this info?
It's been learning it over the years, like just looking up, researching other stuff. Like as I've been building out my Leaving Legacy Live training, I've been looking at other influences, what's been going on in the world, and that just happened to show up within my research. Because I mean, I'm always searching, trying to find out more and include what's relevant to what I'm teaching about.
Fantastic. All right, Christopher, we're going to move on to Tanya real quick. Thank you for that very insightful conversation. We'll bring you back out in just a few minutes. All right, Tanya, who are you?
I am also a serial entrepreneur. I do alignment coaching, which is part business, part relationship. Um, I am what's the word I'm looking for?
Smart,
Mm,
funny.
well, yes, right. Cancer survivor. So sometimes my brain buffers. I'm a high priestess. I'm a witch. I've been for a very long time. So astrology has been something that's been part of my life for a long time. Um,
So I should not have made fun of witches backstage. Oops.
no, no, not at all. And I help cancer survivors navigate their diagnosis. That's something else that I do. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that I do.
All right, well, that describes you. Let's talk a little bit about witches and astrology after these next two questions. Next question. If I wanted to improve my social health with astrology, what tiny piece of information would you give me?
We're going to talk about Mercury going into retrograde. People, joke about it going into Gatorade. It happens about 3 times a year, and basically what that means is the planet appears to be going the wrong direction in the sky. During retrogrades, you don't really want to you don't want to negotiate contracts. Like if you can avoid that kind of stuff, because Mercury, computer issues are definitely going to happen during retrogrades and stuff like that. So just kind of be mindful of like the fact that Mercury is in retrograde when you're thinking about starting new contracts with individuals, new business dealings and stuff like that, or why suddenly um, you have 400 bugs on your computer. Like that is a, associated with Mercury being in retrograde.
And how does that affect it? So you said it appears to go in the opposite direction, but it doesn't actually change?
Correct. So like, our whole solar system is rotating all over the place. So when we look up and we see Mercury, it appears to be going backwards because we're going this way and it's going this way but slower and stuff like that.
All right. Okay. So why we don't negotiate contracts during that time period? Tell me why.
because the communication misissues, right? Like Mercury is a god of communication, and
Oh, okay.
so like you communicate on your phones, you can communicate on your computers. So everything that is associated with communications is not direct, not correct. So
Is there a set time that happens, or does it change every year?
it it changes. So it's based on cycles. So you
It's
have to
like
look it up.
every 3 or 4 months ish.
Yes, yes, and it's like a month and a half each time. I'd
Oh,
have
man.
to look up exact, but I'm not entirely.
Okay, well, where on your life journey did you learn this information?
Realistically, I don't know. Like I have been low key studying astrology for a very long time, and I picked that information up decades ago, so I'm not even sure.
All right, lots of research, years in education. Got it.
Yes, like can we talk about Saturn returns for one quick second?
Uh, yeah, whatever that is, go ahead.
Oh, sure. So, like, they talk about midlife crisis.
Okay.
So, where Saturn is placed when you're born, every 28 years, it takes Saturn 28 years to get back to that spot. So, you start to have karmic things you need to fix. So in every 28-year cycles, when Saturn comes back to where it was when you were born, you're going to have some upheaval. And hopefully, as you get older, those upheavals will get smaller because you've worked your stuff out. You've dealt with the karmic stuff that you are here to deal with.
Every 28 years, huh?
Yes.
All right, well, let's. Christopher just responded, so let's go ahead and bring everyone out and discuss that. Christopher, tell us about 2018.
Well, that was the year I lost my phone. Like literally, you start the year. What cell phone? I didn't have one for 3 months, as the previous episode, and yeah, like pivoting businesses, running into problems, getting told to. I wanted to address the affordable housing crisis, basically getting told by the old boys club to step back, otherwise we're going to fine you $12,000. So yeah, that was a lot of like, yeah, you're moving forward, but you're getting kicked as you're moving forward.
Veronica, did you have a crazy when you turned 28? Was it a crazy year?
I think so, but I loved it. It was good year for me.
Good year. All right. All right. Hey, Veronica, can you quickly refresh what your tip was for us?
To check on a sorry, but it improves your social health, right? Like as much as possible, as as great advice as I can give is to check on erogenous zones on the body of your partner according to their zodiac sign. Lot of fun.
Christopher, you heard anything about that, or Tanya?
That I've heard about it. I mean, I understand the placement for my zodiac sign, but I don't know much about it too. Like that's an
What's
area I haven't really.
what's
It
your
makes
zodiac sign
sense.
and what place?
The Taurus is associated with the throat chakra.
Oh, wait? Are you talking about chakras? Oh man.
Well, no, it's the throat. The chakra's also aligned to that too. But yeah, you can it branches like there's astrology also bridges over to like the gemstones. It bridges over to tarot. Like, where do you want to go with this? It can go for hours.
Christopher,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to have a separate episode for you.
I'd like to be included in that chat. That chat sounds amazing. 400
All right,
tarot
we'll just
decks and all the gemstones you could possibly have all over there.
we'll end this episode and then we'll just restart a new one for 4 hours and we'll just keep talking. So that's actually funny. I had my last meeting with my social health board of directors. They brought up chakras, and I had to do a bunch of research. And I actually have like 3 or 4 tabs still open of tabs that I did not do. So let's talk a little bit about astrology, social health, and chakras. Somebody tell me something cool.
Oh boy. Your chakras are your energy fields. You treat
Okay.
it, the main ones, you have seven. You know, brow, crown, brow, throat, heart,
And
solar
how is
plexus.
it decided which one affects you more than other ones?
It's not that they decide that it affects you more than other ones. It's whether or not they're really aligned or out of whack because you need to fix things. You know, it's all really about being here to fix the thing that you decided that you were going to work on before you incarnated, right? So you picked the path of the things that you wanted to work on, and whether or not you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing or not depends on how hard you're going to be hit with the karmic hammer on the head as you go along, right? Like if you keep repeating the same steps, it's the reminders are going to get a little bit more brutal, right? So like right now, the reminders I'm getting is the job that I'm doing right now, the day job that I have, is not for me. So
Yep.
things are really heating up, and I'm very uncomfortable at the day job because the universe is telling me and has been telling me for years, you don't belong here. And now I'm listening because it's become so extreme. Human nature is to wait until the last minute to change something when you get so discomfortable. So a good tip would be, as you start to feel the discomfort, change the thing immediately so that you don't have to feel real discomfort. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
A little discomfort change, or you're going to feel some real stuff. All right, we got a question from the audience. How do we utilize or channel our chakra?
Does anybody else want to take that, or is that me?
I can. I think it's interesting question because it's when you are asking about how to utilize your chakras, it's like if you asked how to utilize your eyes, because chakras are a natural part of our energetic system, at least as we know up until today. So for example, if you are very creative and you want to enhance this creativity, you can focus on your lower abdomen where your second chakra is, and your throat chakra, because it's chakras connected to your creativity in expressing yourself. Um, so utilizing, it's more like what you want to develop, what you want to improve, and where you want to move on with your life, and just maybe according to the topic, find the chakra, because you will find a ton of material on a Google what topic of your life is connected to which chakra, and you can do meditation on the chakra, and you can compare the topic in your life if it improved or not.
Well, that was well said. Cool. Anyone else have anything else to add to that? I see Tanya's mind.
Thinking, I'm contemplating, right? Like, um,
Well, you
I.
mean, yeah, sorry.
Are we stuck with?
All right, here's a question. Maybe this will push you through. Are we stuck on with one chakra based on our zodiac sign, or does it just mean that's our strongest area?
So, I think that really depends not just on your sun sign, right? Like because the whole chart details a lot of stuff that is relevant to you. You know, you have your rising sign, you have your moon sign, and your chakra system, while related, isn't related. So all of your chakras are going to spin and vibrate at their energies based on the environment that you're in. And I don't necessarily say that. I know that certain chakras are associated with different zodiac signs, but you're not really stuck with working with just one chakra energy field. You work with all of them all of the time. When you walk into a room and you get that hair on the back of your neck, that is your auric field, your chakra energy field, telling you that there's something oogie in the room that you shouldn't interact with. When you suddenly get this idea that you need to be doing blah blah blah, or you get a sense of deja vu, that's related to how your energy field interacts with the energy outside of your field.
All right. Well, that was definitely informative. All right. So all your chakras same time. Are you guys ready for a daily challenge?
Or
This is going to be an interesting one. Has to take less than 5 minutes, costs $0, and be available to anyone in the world to improve your social health with astrology. What do you guys think?
I mean,
I I think that you should pay attention to where the moon phase is. So when the moon is new, that's time to start new things, and you work from new to full, increasing things, like pulling things into your world, like increasing your abundance, working on stuff like that. And when the moon is going from full to new, you work on releasing things that you want out of your life that no longer serve you. Completely free. All you have to do is look at a calendar, it'll tell you what the moon phase is doing. Or you could just look in the sky.
That's
Any
awesome.
other thoughts?
I would, Austin, I would say get people to look up their natal charts to actually understand all their placements, because that would be a good place before you go. Instead of looking at other people, look at yourself, like do the introspection, figure out yourself first and get a better understanding. And if you do need help, there are people out there that you could pay for natal chart readings, and they can go into more depth if you don't understand the placements. And they,
Yeah. So
I
what
mean,
is?
a good website that I've used quite a lot is astro-seek.com. Like they actually will do they'll do the natal chart, like whole placements of your chart. They'll also go into the numerology, and they'll go into the other stuff, but that's a whole different episode.
So what? So I mean, I like the idea of learning about yourself. What is something we can do every day though that'll help us grow? I like learning about the moon pattern. What is something that changes every day that we can look up and kind of? I mean, it's almost like we should keep a journal. Like, look at what phase of the moon you are in, and maybe like write down how you felt that day and how that might have affected your zodiac sign slash your chakra slash whatever. Something along those lines.
I, journaling is always excellent, right? Like, and if you put on the top of the page not only the moon phase, what the moon is in, right? Because the moon goes into the different signs every 2 days, right? Am I right? It's every 2 days, I think. And then put down the weather and like what your mood is and what your general headspace is. You can start to get a feel by doing that on how the moon's energies affect you and your personal cycle, and it'll give you greater insight into who you are and how you operate.
All right. So I like looking up the moon phase, looking up the weather, and then how do we bring that to the introspect? Like, we can look up our zodiac sign, but that's just like one time.
No, this is the full chart. This is all like 12 placements, not just a single, not the sun sign, not the moon, not the rising. This is everything.
What
Like
the
you
hell
Yeah,
actually
does that mean?
so as you write down what's going on with yourself, this is not an immediate result thing. This is a down the road thing. After you've got months of writing, you review it and you kind of look to see how your cycle is impacted by what the stars are doing in your chart. It might be a big homework project.
Yeah, this is
yeah,
gonna be
it's
like
not gonna.
17
It's
years of shit. Um, let's try to just bring this down. Yeah, okay. So I like Katrina said that. I like finding the moon phase, right? That's simple and easy and it'll change every day. And I like the making us learn about ourselves. So learning our zodiac sign or our chakra. Is there something let me go back to this. Cuz this thing you sent me is going to be it's going to show us everything at once. maybe we just find out like a unique fact about our zodiac sign.
Yeah.
So the first day you can look up your zodiac sign, but then we can learn something about that. How does that sound?
That sounds good. That sounds a smaller and more bite size for individuals.
Yeah, so you look up your zodiac sign, right, or your chakra, I guess, whatever your strongest chakra is, and then so we'll focus on moon phase and weather affecting us and our zodiac sign. Does that sound right and good?
Yeah, because the yes, that sounds good.
And
I don't want
Christopher,
to
Veronica,
overcomplicate
you
it.
guys like that challenge?
I think so. Yes.
Okay,
Simpler.
well,
It's
do you want to add something to it, Chris?
Well, I mean, if you're just going over the sun, your primary zodiac, you do have other ones that influence you too. Like that's why I say the full chart, because that full chart you'll well, you'll be asking more questions about yourself by going there. Like you need the time, the months, the day, the year, the time you're born, and the location to get that to actually fill out everything. If you don't have the time, your rising sign will not be correct.
It's astroseek.com.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a smaller URL just because yours is that way.
Yeah, that was a direct link right to it. If you just do astroseek.com, that will just pull up the homepage, and then they can find the personal birth chart.
All right, Katrina, you like this? Look up the moon phase and the weather of that day and a unique fact about one of the zodiac signs using astroseek.com. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
So you learn something about you. So if you said your natal chart has like 12 things, so you can pick one of them and kind of learn what that means about you, and then see where the moon is and the weather and how that affects that part of you. All of that makes sense?
Yeah.
All right, daily challenge complete. That's it. We're done. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming out. What an enlightening episode. Katrina, really, hopefully she had some fun there. Thank you so much for your comments, Katrina, and helping us guide this episode. We'll see you guys all later. Thank you so much for being guests on here. We have our daily challenge. We are complete. Whew, that was a fun one. I learned way more than I thought I would. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed learning on how to improve your social health with astrology, and hopefully, we'll see you again next